Me and my friends have been going through Easter eggs of Zombies Past leading up to Black Ops 6. A lot of these I actually had never done before because, well, the Black Ops 1 ones at least require 4 players for pretty much all of them, and I had no friends back then, but now well, still don't have any friends, but at least I have the industry plants that I pay to be my friends. So, yeah, we've been doing these Easter eggs. So today is going to start a series where I'm going to be ranking every Easter egg by every game. Today we will be focusing on BO1. Now, while I talk about every Easter egg on top of their ranking and my little stupid opinions about them, I am also going to be giving them ratings in certain aspects. These are going to be difficulty, fun, the reward, and how likely I am to replay it at one point or another. We're going to be starting off with one that I was actually thinking about putting higher, but I'm going to put it right at the bottom in 4th place, and that is going to be Ascension. It was the first main quest, the first Easter egg ever, so, you know, you gotta give them credit where it's due. They didn't really have everything figured out yet. This was just their first attempt, and damn, for a first attempt, I think it's actually pretty freaking good. There's only like a handful of steps, and all of them make pretty much complete sense, believe it or not. Well, maybe not the standing on the clock one, but I think most of them make sense. It doesn't really have much going on, but I do like how, since it requires 4 players, it actually is rather very co-op centric. It actually has steps designed around the 4-player limit, which, admittedly, some of the other 4-player only Easter eggs and zombies don't really have as much. Now, in terms of difficulty, this one is actually really incredibly easy. I'll give it a 1 out of 10. Pretty much everything can be done without any real difficulty, except for the ending where you have to shoot the fuck out of the thing with all the different wonder weapons and whatnot. But, you know, that's not too much hard, just so much annoying. In terms of fun, I wouldn't say it's the most fun Easter egg in the world either. I'd say it's about 5 out of 10. It's not anything, like, terrific. It's not anything terrible. It's just okay. As far as the reward goes, the reward really isn't very good. It's just a 90-second death machine, and I just have to just show something real quick.
No, no, no.
Oh,
No,
the real
no,
fight begins.
no, no, no.
Yo, no ammo.
No, no, no.
This guy died during the 90-second death machine, so we couldn't revive him. What a tool. Now, in terms of replayability, I'd say actually give this a 7 out of 10. I do think I can see myself replaying this at some point in the future. If I'm ever playing a 4-player Ascension match again, and we all just so happen to get some of the wonder weapons. I forgot to mention I'm also going to be doing best step and worst step for each of these Easter eggs. So the best step, I was going to say the monkey buttons, but I'm actually going to change that maybe to collecting the letters for Luna. I don't know, just kind of neat. Just kind of neat coordinating between 2 people like that. The worst step, I'm going to go with standing on the platform while that clock ticks. I mean, it's just you're standing in one place, and you have to stay on it for like a minute, maybe even a minute and a half. It's really long and just kind of unnecessary. For 3rd place, I have Call of the Dead. Now, this is actually the first Easter egg that is doable solo, actually, and I think the quest is a little bit different in solo. I, however, did not do the solo version, and apparently the solo version is easier. Call of the Dead is okay, you know, it's longer than Ascension. It's kind of fun, I guess. But basically, the whole Easter egg is just going around and fetching items, and I mean, that's fine and all, but I don't know. I don't feel like the steps are really as interesting as some of the other Easter eggs on this step. Even Ascension, I think, had a little bit more interesting steps. I mean, there were some good ones in there, but I mean, I don't know, just it's okay. It's not bad by any means. In terms of difficulty, I am going to be giving this one a 5 out of 10. It's somewhat difficult, especially with a certain step we will be mentioning later. And just the fact you have to get the VR11, which again, I know that sort of leans into RNG more than it does difficulty, but whatever, my video, my rules. In terms of fun, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's, I guess, it's again, it's okay. I mean, it's nothing that special to me, really. For the reward, I'll give it a 7 out of 10, actually. Now, I do think that this Easter egg's reward is actually pretty good, well, if you're the one who happens to pick it up. So it spawns in a death machine power-up, but this death machine power-up is actually a wonder waff, which you can use until it runs out of ammo. Unfortunately, you can't pack it. But it doesn't have a time limit, although I'm sure if you switch your weapon, it probably goes away too. But I mean, the Wonder Waff is just, I mean, come on, it's the Wonder Waff. It wasn't overblown and overused yet. It was pretty fun. In terms of replayability, 5 out of 10. If it wasn't for a certain step, which again we will be getting to later, I probably would replay it more often, but also at the same time, I don't know. I think my main problem with this Easter egg, which also will become a problem with Easter eggs later, is there's basically, since every step is a fetch quest, you have to know several different locations and check several different locations for specific items, and I don't know. That's just not very interesting to me personally, but whatever. As for the best step, I'd say probably throwing the grenades out of the map at the generators while one or two of them is in the map, I think. And as far as the worst step, I mean, it's that fucking dial step. This is just, we had to reset a run because I messed it up, but I don't think we actually had to reset a run. It's just, why do other ones move when you switch them? Why do I have to do it in the specific codename pizza random complex way? How did anyone figure this out? I don't know. I don't know that I care. It's just like, bro, that's kind of dumb. As far as second place go, I have what will probably be a bit of a controversial pick, and I know it'll be a bit of a controversial pick within my friend group who played the map with me, because I know most of them were not having a good time at all. Admittedly, I was not having the greatest time because of just, I mean, Shangri-La, okay? It's not the most fun map to play. It's got a lot of what I would call Shangri-La-isms. I don't know. It's just, it's a tough map to play, but then you throw in the hyper-specificity of, that's not even a word, but whatever, of certain steps, and it's just like, it can be a bit of a pain sometimes, especially when you're playing with two other people who have, like, barely ever played Shangri-La in their life. But I do kind of like how there is a bit of a jump in difficulty and complexity. Now, I wouldn't actually say this is too complex to the point of some of the later Easter eggs. I actually think this is a pretty decent level of complexity. The steps actually, to me, make a lot of sense. There's not any crazy puzzles that don't really make any sense. The biggest puzzles on this map are the matching of tiles, which, I mean, one person stand on one side, tell the other person what tile to look for, stand on it, makes perfect sense. The turning of the wheels, I don't know how people figured out what order to turn them in, but once they did, just copy that, and I mean, bam, that's that one, and I mean, that's like the two major puzzles of the Easter egg right there. I think this one kind of fell a little bit in terms of co-op balance, because admittedly, most of the time, you don't actually really need 4 players except for activating Eclipse mode, which, by the way, is a cool gimmick, and I way prefer Shang in Eclipse mode than its normal mode. But other than that, I really can't see why this Easter egg needed to be 4 players. But I will say it is at least very well balanced for at least 2 players. A lot of the steps seem centered towards 2 players doing something rather than 4 players. I don't know, I actually kind of enjoyed doing this one, the actual doing of the steps, well, except for some of the RNG elements and steps, such as waiting around for a napalm, or waiting around to get the baby gun, and also the whole Ben 10 race against time about getting certain steps done before Eclipse mode runs out, which, by the way, actually can glitch you and soft lock you because it happened in our first run. Because we finished the step right as soon as the Eclipse mode ends, so it just fucked everything. Yay! At the end of the day, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 difficulty, definitely on the harder side. Fun, I'll give it 7 out of 10. Like I said, I actually kind of enjoyed some of the steps. For rewards, I'll give it 6 out of 10. If you're the person who picks up the Focusing Stone, you get all perks as perma perks, which is amazing. The rest of you get jack shit, so that's why it gets 6 out of 10 instead of something higher. In terms of replayability, likelihood to replay it, for me, I would give it an 8 out of 10, but then I would also have to convince some of the other 3 people who I played with to do it again, and I have a feeling they wouldn't be so happy about that idea, so probably not going to ever do that again, but hey, 8 out of 10 for me. For the best step, I'll put the matching tiles. I actually really like this step. I got it down pretty good. Maybe I would also say transporting the orb around with the baby gun is pretty fun as well. As for the worst step, the one where you have to leave the napalm zombie, I mean, napalm zombies, you have to wait for him to spawn, you have to get to the end of the round where you can activate Eclipse mode, you gotta lead him through the 4 things without him blowing up, so keep your distance from him, don't let him blow up, and then you also have to turn the switch exactly or very quickly after they get the 4th thing lit up, so yeah, that step is just a bit, that kind of brings it down, but I think that's really the only, like, crazy bad step in my opinion. And now for first place, I have a feeling most people probably put this in first place, but it's gonna be Moon. I know, shocker, right? I will say this is the most well-rounded Easter egg in the entire game, in my opinion. There's no super crazy puzzles, and mostly the Easter egg is just really easy to remember and replicate steps. Hell, even after not doing it since like 2017 when Chronicles first came out, I remember pretty much all the steps and how to do them. It's just I need to look up a guide to get like the sequencing, you know, what order, or if there's any little details that I might have forgot. But you know, it's really easy to remember and just again kind of really fun to just do and replicate. It's definitely a simpler one, but it's not necessarily a short one either. I don't know. It's just I think it's really well rounded. And I mean, it's got the best story out of all the Easter eggs in this game. I don't really talk about the story of the Easter eggs in this game because, well, for some of them, I just downright wasn't able to really pay attention, or it just isn't anything that special to talk about. But this was where the story really started kind of insane for zombies, and this story and this map was great. And the finale, I mean, come on, one of the best Easter egg finales in the entirety of zombies ever, maybe even still the best one. As far as difficulty goes, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It really is just average difficulty. You might have some hard times with waiting for Tunnel 6 to get excavated. You might have some hard time getting the QEDs. Or you could be this guy and literally pull everything from the box right when you need it.
Never wants to go away.
No way!
Alright, now.
No way. Yo! Colton's gambling coming in clutch again. Yeah, this guy was on something else in this game, let me tell you. For fun, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I mean, come on, it really is just a very decently fun quest to do. As far as rewards, that's going to be a 10 out of 10. Everybody finally gets all perks, and they are perma perks. Additionally, you get the fucking Earth being blown up while you're on the moon, and if you return to Griffin Station, you get to see just Earth looking absolutely amazing as it's been demolished. Also, you get new zombie eye color, new fire sale fucking music, new announcer with Richtofen, and a whole lot of new quotes because the person who's playing as Richtofen will now basically be playing as Samantha. For the best step, I am going to say following the ball around after Tunnel 6 gets excavated. We actually did lose it like multiple times. I've had to progress around once to find it. But still, knifing and following this orb around, I really like following orbs around. What can I say? I don't know if it actually has a name. Fuck you, loreheads. I don't care. I forgot if I said the replayability of the map, but the replayability is a 10 out of 10. I am definitely going to do it in the future, and I'm sure that my friend group will not mind doing it again in the future. And now on to the worst step is going to be, for me, I can't really think of many bad steps, but I'm just going to put the final round of Samantha Says. It kind of took us a hot minute, but you know, the guy with the insane box luck ended up doing it on his second attempt. Well, not his second, like, attempt after failing, but he stepped away. I tried, my brother tried, and then he came back, and he got the dub for us. And yeah, that's the worst step, I guess. Not bad by any means, but just, I don't know, it was just kind of, it's a lot of rounds of Samantha Says and a lot of fucking colors and sequences to remember. But anyways, that's gonna do it. This actually turned out like twice as long as I thought it would from the commentary. This was not scripted at all. If you're still here, hello, hi. I'm gonna be making more zombies videos. I'm gonna be trying to, anyways. And the hell likely the next one will just be the Black Ops 2 Easter eggs race, because we're already like on Die Rise and we already know how to do mob and origins perfectly. But anyway, that's gonna do it. Not gonna ask you to subscribe. I don't care. It'd be nice, I guess, but you do you, champ. I don't know. See you later. Bye.